everybody, I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and tonight I'm going to show you how to cook Napa Jack's Merlot barbecue beef chili. Now we're tailgating today and this is what we're having, and we're actually going to use this chili in pita pockets. We're going to use that for chili dogs in pita. So this is the beginning recipe for that. I have 1 pound of ground beef that I'm about to throw in my large pot on the stove top. I'm going to preheat that with about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm just slicing up a sausage. Now you can use any kind of sausage you like. Farmer sausage is one of our favorites, but today I'm using actually an Italian mild sausage. And it's easier to cut these if you leave them semi-frozen. Sometimes when you cut them and they're all the way defrosted, they just kind of ooze everywhere. They're very difficult. So today I'm just leaving them slightly frozen and they're gonna go in like that. Little chunks. I've just been preparing all of my vegetables. I have, a little bowl of celery, some carrots, green pepper. I have a nice hot Hungarian pepper that I've finely minced, that one. I have a nice fresh tomato. You could use 1 or 2 of them, but I'm also going to use a can of tomatoes. And if you aren't using your beans out of the can, you have to make sure that you had pre-soaked them last night and then boiled them up. Otherwise they take a long time to cook, and you don't want to just throw those hard beans into a chili because you're going to be really upset. So I'm using a can today just for speed purposes because I want to watch the game. So I have a couple cans of red kidney beans. You could use any kind of beans you like. You could use black beans, pinto beans, navy beans, whatever kind. I have some garbanzo beans just because I really like them, or chickpeas they're also called. And I'm using those kidney beans. And I have 1 large can of whole tomatoes that I'm going to squish in here. So that's pretty much the basis of it. Now for flavoring, I have this gorgeous barbecue sauce from Napa Jack's. This is Napa Jack's Merlot barbecue sauce. Make sure you check out my review on this. So good. We've used it on many things. Awesome stuff. So this comes from Wine Country Kitchens, and you can find them online at winecountrykitchens.com. What a really beautiful, robust flavor. It's sweet. You can taste that beautiful Merlot wine. It's savory. It's a little bit tangy. Gorgeous. So we're going to start all this off by adding the meat to my frying pan. Okay, I'm going to start with the sausages. I guess it's not fried in my pot. And we're going to get that started. Stir that around, and we just want to brown this up before we start adding vegetables to this. So my carrots are nicely diced here, just in small little maybe ½ inch bits. Same with my celery, it's nice and sliced. Similar sized green pepper, or you could use red pepper, yellow pepper, whatever kind of peppers you have. But I like to use pepper in it for sure. And this is my hot Hungarian pepper. This is really finely diced here. And just chopped up a nice fresh tomato as well. Now I'm going to get my cans open so I'm ready to go. Now I've just added my 1 pound of ground beef. I want to brown this up nicely. This meat is browning nicely, so I'm going to add some seasonings at this point. I'm going to add a bay leaf. I'm going to add some of this freshly ground pepper that I've done, maybe a teaspoon. I'm going to add some chili flakes. After all, it is chili. As much or as little as you like. I'm going to add some gorgeous premium smoked paprika. It's a sweet smoked paprika. It's from La Chinata. Make sure you check them out online at lachinata.com. Cool. So tasty. Smoky and savory and just fantastic. If you've never used smoked paprika, once you try it, you're going to crave it all the time. I'm going to add a good teaspoon's worth. We're going to taste test later, of course, but we're just going to get a nice base of flavor started. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of ancho chili. Now, ancho chili isn't that spicy, hot spicy. It is savory spicy, kind of like a spiced raisin. So I'm going to add about a whole nice heaping teaspoon of that. Now, bear in mind, this is for the whole entire chili, pot of chili. I'm going to add some cumin, maybe a ½ teaspoon. And believe it or not, I'm going to add a dash of cinnamon. Now this just gives us je ne sais quoi. You're not going to be like, oh, that's cinnamon, but it's going to give a really nice flavor, and it's quite actually an authentic trick that many people might not tell you. So 1 dash. A whisper. We're going to add a little bit of sea salt. Just a little to start with. And we're gonna stir that through. Okay, so you might see that you've got some nice brown bits on the bottom of your pot. Your meat is browned, your sausage is browned, and now we're going to use something to deglaze the bottom of that pan. Also, we need to get them tender. So I'm gonna add my hardest vegetables first, starting with my carrots and celery. And the peppers. I'm going to save the hot peppers for just a couple moments because they are much more finely diced. So if you've ever heard that you can only deglaze with wine, that's not true. Vegetables do a beautiful job of getting those brown bits on the bottom of off of the bottom of your pots and pans. Now the trick is here to make sure that your meat is browned before you add these veggies. In fact, you could even take the meat out after it browned, but I like to keep it in there. It's just going to get a little bit more flavor. It's going to combine with those vegetables, and they're going to season each other, and all will be well. You'll see. We're just trying to get these vegetables a little bit softened before we start adding some other ingredients. Now you can use a wide variety of meat for chilies, pretty much anything you want, and you can make a vegetarian chili. So either way, it doesn't matter. You could use beef, you can use pieces of steak in there instead of the ground beef. You can use chicken, you can use ground chicken, you can use duck, shredded pulled pork, whatever it is you like. In fact, we have a really good recipe for the pulled pork on the website and on my channels. So make sure you check out that. It was fantastic. It was also Napa Jack's. It's Napa Jack's Chipotle Cabernet Barbecue Pulled Pork Shoulder. Oh man, so good. But that would be great meat to throw in here too. Today, the ground beef and the sausage, that's gonna do us just fine. Now, we don't always use onion and garlic because some people, they don't like it or it doesn't agree with their diet. So, no problem. You can use onion and garlic if you like, and now would be the time to add that. Now, I'm also gonna use this ridiculously tasty spice rub from Napa Jack's too. It's their steak rub, and that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna use steak rub because that's beef. I'm going to read you what's in here, what they tell me. There's chili pepper, garlic, and canola oil. And salt and spices. They don't want to tell you what spices they are. It's a secret. So I'm going to add a good teaspoon of this. And I'm looking at it. I'm seeing dill seeds. I'm seeing coriander. I'm seeing some garlic and onion. Chili flakes. I can see some gorgeous nice sea salt. And obviously pepper. Boy, there's some nice things in there. And then there's some finely ground spices. You have to guess. All right, a good teaspoon of this. They have the whole line of spice rubs, just like they have a whole line of these barbecue sauces. And every single one of them that I've tried has been outstanding. Okay, at this point, I'm going to add my finely diced hot pepper. The smell of my kitchen is fantastic right now. I have a nice bunch of fresh parsley and a nice bunch of fresh cilantro. That's going to probably be about 2 tablespoons worth once I'm done finally mincing this up. This is going in now. I'm probably going to add a little bit more at the end for some nice fresh flavor, but this is going to also build the flavor of the chili as we go. Into the pot. So stir all that through. Okay, so I'm going to add my tomato, my freshly chopped tomato. Once you find that your veggies are nice and tender already, stir that through. That's really going to help deglaze too. Let that go for a few more minutes, and we'll keep on adding some more stuff. Okay, so it's been a little while here, and I'm going to add a can of tomato paste. Stir that all through. And I'm going to add a whole can of and I'm going to add a can of whole tomatoes. Now I'm just going to squeeze them through my fingers to crush them up, and I'm also adding the liquid. And stir that all through. I'm also going to add about a quarter to a half a cup of wine, depending on what you want. Since we're using a beautiful Merlot barbecue sauce, we're going to also use a red wine. If you have a Merlot, that's ideal, but if you don't shy away from it. Still add some red wine, just a different kind. So I'm going to put a little bit of a 2012 Malbec from Rancourt Winery. Make sure you check out my review on this. It's very, very delicious, and it works for so many dishes as well as beautiful drinking. So we're going to go ahead and add some of this barbecue sauce now. So it's beautiful. You can see the little spices and specks and things in it. Beautiful. So we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of this, maybe 2. Of course, we're going to retaste test at the end to make sure everything's balanced. I'm also going to go ahead and add the beans now. So I have 3 cans of beans right now. I'm going to determine if I want or need more. But I'm using the beans plus the juice of 2 cans, and then I've just drained one of the other cans. If you've never thought of using the juice, what it does is it also helps you thicken your chili even more. And sometimes that's what we need. It can be quite runny, especially when you first start and everything's going. The bean really does a nice job of thickening up that extra sauce and liquid. Gorgeous. I just love chili. So you're just going to stir that through. It looks beautiful. I usually like to use a bunch of different kinds of beans, but you use what you have. So now, this needs to simmer on your stovetop for a while. Probably the longer the better. A couple hours would be great. But it'll be ready to eat in about an hour. As long as those vegetables in there are nice and tender, then you're good to go. But I like to let it go a little while, let all those flavors mingle, do a nice taste test, and just see where you're at. You want to also reduce some of that liquid. So as that liquid reduces, it's going to get a nice thicker texture to the chili. Now, in lieu of using wine, you don't have to use wine. You can add a little bit of water. You could also add beer as a really nice addition. So you can mix and match with exactly what you have. So I'm going to check on this. Make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of your pot. So you want to bring it up to that high boil. Once it does that, you want to turn it right down to the simmer. It's going to boil and bubble. So if you want to use a splatter guard, this is a really nice time to use it. And we'll see you in about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. So since the meat's cooked already, I took a preliminary taste test just to make sure we're on the right playing field here with the spices. And I'm going to add some more of the barbecue sauce because boy, this stuff is really good and it's going to just make it so much better. So another tablespoon. I also did add a little bit more of this, maybe a whole nother teaspoon of this as well. Now as this simmers, those tomatoes are going to break down even a little bit more. The vegetables are going to soften in there, the harder ones, the carrots and the celery and the pepper. And boy, everything's just going to kind of mingle together and get a beautiful, awesome, southwesterny sort of flavor. Now I have another secret ingredient aside from that cinnamon. I like to add just a pinch of instant coffee to the chili because it deepens and richens the flavor. It adds depth to the chili that just is so savory and deep and delicious. Goes beautifully with the beef. Now I use instant just because it dissolves really easily inside of the stews and soups. I use this in a few different things. But if you didn't have that and you had real coffee, go ahead and use the liquid instead of adding, you know, the wine, or you can add it in addition to instead of water maybe. It's a nice idea to put some in there. I would use maybe half a cup. I'm going to add a couple dashes of hot sauce. Use as much as you like and whatever kind you like. And we've just come up to the boil, so I'm going to turn it down to a simmer, and we'll see you probably in a whole another 30 minutes. All right, this chili has been going. I've been stirring it to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. If you have a gas stove top, you have a much better chance of having it not stick. If you're using that flat element, it's going to stick. So make sure you're coming through and scraping the bottom and mixing everything through again, because the more liquid tends to go to the top and all the substance goes to the bottom. So I'm adding about a bowl's worth of corn kernels. That's probably a cup and a half, 2 cups worth. In it goes. All right, the corn's been going for a while and it's all mixed through. I'm going to do a quick taste test to make sure all is well. I would say my chili's been going for a good 45 minutes. So good. We're right on point with flavor. I'm going to give my chili at least another 20 minutes, and then I think we might just start serving because everyone's really hungry. Now in the meantime, get your condiments ready. For chili dogs, we like to serve it with cheese, cheddar cheese, and some people like mozzarella on it. We're going to have some cilantro and some fresh parsley. Also, you could do some green onions sliced up nicely. Lime is a nice touch. Sour cream is a nice touch. Hot sauce, of course. Now the pitas, they're a nice touch for this, but you can definitely use hot dog buns if you want to make your own. Make sure you check out my show for how to make homemade hamburger buns. You can also make them into the hot dog buns, and it explains everything on the website with the show. So a little bit of cheddar. If you wanted some jalapenos and things, you could do, if you were tailgating, you could do a chili dog bar and just have a whole bunch of cool condiments and let everyone make their own mix and match it all the way they like it. All right, we're near the end here, and I'm going to put some nice fresh lime juice in the chili. That's gonna wake up all those flavors and make it taste nice and fresh. Now today I'm using this chili for chili dogs, but if you wanted to serve it up in bowls, feel free to do that. People are gonna like that too. I have some condiments out. You can add some jalapenos to the top, some sliced green onions. I've got some shredded cheddar. I have some mozzarella for other people. I've got sour cream. You can add salsa, hot sauce, whatever. And make sure you have a little bit extra barbecue sauce because some people might want to add some to their bowl. But since I'm doing these for chili dogs, I have my dogs in the pot right now heating through so that they're ready and they have some nice flavor on them as well. I'm also going to freshly mince up some cilantro and parsley just to garnish everything. Gorgeous. So there you have it. You can fill it up a little bit more, but you want to have some, you know, something to hold on to. You don't want it to break through there either. So I'm going to top with some cheddar cheese and a little bit of sour cream for me. A little bit of that parsley and cilantro. And I'm going to serve mine with a wedge of lime. If you wanted to put some rice in with your chili, go ahead and do that. People would like that too. I have some made as well. But that's mine. That's how I feel. There's my chili dog in a pita. So easy, and if you didn't think of it, it's a cool idea, right? So that chili's really hot. I'm gonna make another one. And you'll see me in a second so I can taste test it for you. So I finally get to try this. It looks so good. Squeeze some lime on it. Oh, goodness, look at this. That pita just kind of hugs all that chili. You can put a whole bunch in there, more than you would be able to if you used a bun. So let's dig in. There you go. You have the pita holding your dog and the chili, and I have some sour cream and all those beautiful southwestern flavors in there. Fantastic tailgating food. That chili is fantastic. The garbanzo beans, the kidney beans, nice tomatoey, barbecue-y flavor. That fantastic barbecue sauce that went in there from Wine Country Kitchen's Napa Jack's Merlot barbecue sauce. And all those savory spices from our spice mix. This Napa Jack steak rub did a beautiful job at really giving us a foundation of flavor. Oh, that fresh lime wakes it up. All those fresh herbs. It's great with your chili dogs for the game. Well, this chili is fantastic this way. I'm actually going to get myself another chili dog in a second. But I served some up a little bit earlier with tortilla chips so that they could have a little sneak peek. Everyone's hungry. So I just wanted to hurry up and give them something, and they loved it. So it was great with tortilla chips. You could eat it just by the bowl. Awesome stuff. The toppings, the cheese, the sour cream, you could even use bacon, you could use scallions, whatever it is you like. Make sure you have some extra of this. People like this, okay? So that's how you do it, folks. Really simple and easy. Now I have a big giant pot of chili that's gonna last me a couple days, especially when it's so cold outside. So spice up your life, whether you're tailgating or whether you're just looking for something exciting to eat. All right? That's it. Make sure you check out winecountrykitchens.com. You're going to love this and their spices that go along with in the Napa Jack's line. Really, really tasty stuff. It'll help you make some really outstanding meals that everyone's going to love. And it's pretty much gone, so I have nothing to show you. Anyway, so I hope you try this recipe. You're going to love it. This is how to cook Napa Jack's Merlot Barbecue Beef Chili. It's awesome. All right, follow me on Twitter at CookingWithKimE with a capital E. Like the fan page at Facebook.com/CookingWithKimberly. My shows are on iFood.tv/CookingWithKimberly, YouTube.com/CookingWithKimberly, and you can find me syndicated on Roku. Come to my website at CookingWithKimberly.com and subscribe. Interact with us and let us know what's going down in your culinary world, all right? Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.